Top 10 Strangest Spiders in the World. It can be said that of the thousands of spiders there are in the world, the only thing they have in common is their 8 legs, because there are species with physical traits and their own talents capable of making our jaws drop, and not exactly in fear, but in amazement at how strange they can be. For this reason, we have compiled the top 10 strangest arachnids that you can't miss. Are you ready? Number 10. Longhorned spider. When we think of horned animals, the first ones that come to mind for sure are a bull, a goat, or a buffalo. But a spider? Yes, friends, there is one, a horned spider. And it is nothing less than the Macrocantha arcuata, a small creature native to South Asia. It is part of the Arachnidae family, which mostly weaves spiral-shaped webs. Their diet is based on insects that fall precisely on the circular cobwebs that they design and whose diameter can be over 3 feet wide. This amazing spider has a trapezoidal-shaped abdomen and 6 sharp appendages. The 2 central ones stand out as they are long and curved. These are the ones that resemble imposing horns that draw attention because they are much larger than its own body. How do they use them? It can be deduced that they can be attractive to the opposite sex, and moreover, as a deterrent effect against the tropical forest predators because of their demonic appearance. Amazing! Number 9. Stamp spider. Undoubtedly, nature is able to surprise us again and again and again with very peculiar animals. On this occasion, with a spider of Asian origin that seems to have a seal added at the end of its abdomen. Yes, as you see it. This 8-legged creature is of the Cyclocosmia genus, and 7 distinguishable species of this genus are known, like the truncata, rickety, among others. Its incredible physical detail is actually a hardened disc, bordered by hairs and reinforced by a series of ribs separated by narrow grooves, which create reliefs that precisely resemble a tampon. Also called a trap spider, it uses its disc as a defense method when it feels threatened by a predator, covering the entrance of its vertical burrow that is between 2.7 and 5.9 inches deep perfectly. This type of natural adaptation to create barriers with one's own body is known as phragmosis, a term used for the first time in the 20th century by entomologist William M. Wheeler. Surprising, right? Number 8. Peacock Spider. Considered one of the most beautiful arachnids for its colorful colors, the peacock spider is also impressive for the dance that males perform to attract the attention of females. Recognized as Marottus volans, it belongs to the Salticidae family and lives in the Australian states of Queensland and New South Wales. It has a body length of 0.19 inches and is endowed with excellent vision, capable of detecting its prey 7.8 inches away, which is considerable for its size. Now, this creature has a colorful back flap that, when they dance, the male will expose to the female. In addition, it will vibrate before her and even raise her legs, looking like he was going to attack, but what he is really doing is courting her. In the end, the female, after studying all the movements of her suitor, will decide if he is suitable for mating, or, if perhaps she didn't appreciate it at all, she could even devour him. What a spectacle! Number 7. Golden silk spider. The adjective of this spider obviously comes from the silk color it produces, which is yellowish, but with the sunlight it turns into a resplendent golden glow as if it were golden fibers. This creature is of the Nephilia genus, consisting of more than 150 species distributed throughout many warm regions of the world such as Australia, Asia, Africa, and America. It is a striking spider for its colorful lines and spots that vary according to the species, and also its long and thin legs. The female measures about 1.9 inches without counting the extension of her limbs, and the male is only 0.2 inches in body length, so it might look like an offspring. Frequently, it is the females who rebuild half of their fabrics every morning. First, they knit the radial elements and then the circular ones. After that, she returns to the other end and repairs the gaps that were possibly caused by one of their favorite prey, such as flies or grasshoppers. Without a doubt, it is a daily job worth gold. Number 6. Mirror spider. And since we're talking about gold and shiny stuff, here's this spider that could well be one of the most prized jewels, but of course, surely knowing that it is an 8-legged creature, we're sure you don't want it at all. We're referring to the most popular of its kind, the Thwaidesia argenteo-punctata, better known as the mirror spider or sequence spider, which is mainly found in the Australian tropics. It is very small in size, being the body length of the male and female of 0.11 and 0.15 inches respectively. The flashing fragments of its abdomen can change in size depending on how threatened this arachnid may feel. And in fact, these patches are neither glass nor sequins, but reflective scales composed of guanine, a digestion byproduct that can be a source of structural color in them. Oh, nature, so wonderful and, well, strange. Number 5. Bird dung spider. The Cyclosa jinaga is an arachnid found in Taiwan, China, Japan, and South Korea that makes its perfectly structured webs, capable of supporting some of its prey in egg sacs. This cobweb makes that when its silver body is located in the center of it, it simulates being a spot of bird feces. And it is because these flying animals are their maximum executioners and the reason why spiders avoid them, camouflaging in this way. Perhaps for this reason, the bird dung crab spider of the Phrynorachne genus also uses its appearance to visually deceive predators and escape danger. These creatures are unpleasant, but they are very clever. Number 4. Ogre face spider. No, gentlemen, this time it is not a spider that can closely resemble an ogre, much less to Shrek.
Well, find a way to entertain yourself.
The arachnid that we present below is of the Dienopus genus, the most common of the Dinopadae family, and as we can see, it has an elongated figure that can measure about 1 inch in length. Its name is due to its large eyes that, in short, remind anyone of the horrible mythological creature, and that, in addition, allow for it to have an extraordinary vision in the dark. The ogre-faced spider inhabits tropical and subtropical regions of South America, Africa, Asia, and Oceania. And another of its attractions is that it hunts its prey in a rather unusual and at the same time spectacular way. First, it makes its web between its long legs, and then, when it perceives that something approaches, using its body in the form of a stick, it attacks by stretching its net and throwing itself on its prey to envelop it and finally devour it. Look at that, it's chilling! Because of this, it is also called the fabric-throwing spider. Wow! Number 3. Happy face spider. Far from presenting a threat to humans, this arachnid will always show its kindness with a smile. It is the Theridian growliter, who only inhabits the islands Oahu, Molokai, Maui, and Hawaii, being of different colors in each of them. It measures about 0.2 inches, and its legs are very elongated into its body. Of yellowish appearance, this to the black widow has distinctive marks that scientists believe may have developed into camouflaging themselves from predatory birds. In general, they choose to live under leaves, where they weave their webs and establish breeding sites. Females fulfill an excellent maternal labor protecting their eggs until they are born, and later they even feed on their descendants. While this species is not the only spider with a face drawn on its body, it is definitely the most sympathetic of all. Number 2. Moroccan FLIC-FLAC spider. Called Sobrinus reckenbergi, this creature has the peculiarity of using a strange and striking form of locomotion, almost circus-like when it feels threatened. Yes, friend, you're looking at this correctly. It was discovered by the bionics professor Ingo Reckenberg, who saw it for the first time in 2006, but it was not until 2008 when he caught one specimen and directed it to arachnologist Peter Jaeger. Through a morphological examination, it was determined that the small, 8-legged animal constituted a new and unique species. The awe was such that researcher Reckenberg was inspired by the ingenious moving way of the arachnid that he created a 9.8 inches long robot called Tabat. This native spider of Morocco, between 0.51 and 0.74 inches long, lives in the desert of Erg Chabi and curiously designs a tubular structure in the sand, joined by silk threads, which provides protection against sun and predators. However, its most outstanding talent, as we had anticipated, is the ability to move by jumping using a gymnast's method known as FLIC-FLAC. In this way, at almost 6.5 feet per second, it moves twice as fast compared to when you walk. What an extraordinary gymnast! Number 1. Water spider. Known scientifically as Agroyanetta aquatica, it is the only species in the world that spends its entire life underwater. Yes, hard to believe. It is an inhabitant of ponds, slow streams, channels, and shallow lakes of Europe and Asia. The female can measure 0.35 inches of body length, while the male can reach up to 0.5 inches long. Their diet is based on small invertebrates such as tadpoles and fish hatchlings. The so-called diving spider, even when it remains submerged most of the time, breathes through lungs like all other arachnids, and to live underwater has impressively made a flared air chamber based on silk, which is always subject to a marine plant. To supply oxygen to this chamber, it favors its fine and short hairs with which it captures bubbles of this vital element. Therefore, as the reserves are consumed, it makes periodic trips to the surface to renew them. Although our Gyronectica aquatica is gray velvet in the open air, when it is inside the water, its body has a silver appearance. Well, although its appearance is silver, here we give it the gold badge for its unusual and admirable capacity in the first place. We promised you surprises and we delivered 10 of them, which we're sure you took in. If so, like this video, share and subscribe to the channel, activating notifications so you don't miss a single video. Until next time!